We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, just to see what is going on. Today is a galactic activation portal day. It's actually the last one of the month. We don't have a ton, surprisingly, April and May, so this is the last one. We want to be utilizing it. And I just posted we have a CME coming into the planet and probably hitting right about now. So I was kind of describing it like this is like surfing an energy wave, because the energies are going to continue to be very, very high over the next couple of days. But when those drops come, we are feeling it. Sometimes we're feeling these bursts of energies and highs of energy, and they're amazing to fuel us and get things done. But sometimes we're navigating a lot of lows and crashes. And like during those times you can't move and you don't feel like doing a lot. And so you got to really feel out how you feel as you're moving through these cosmic energies. But today brings a very, very high frequency and a lot of upgrades. I've been posting a lot about it all over my pages, and we're going to kind of dive into what this means for you on the twin flame journey specifically too. So we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine side of things. Very intense energies, high frequency energies. It's like things get turned all the way up energetically, and we can really tap into these energies and these light codes. Now, I love to use these energies for manifesting, so today is the day to do that. We can also use these for doing healing sessions and things like that. So no matter what's going on, you might see a lot of things surfacing and coming up within these energies, because we're continuing to clear within ourselves a lot of energies, or things might be coming up in your everyday life experiences. And this is ascension and the spiritual awakening that is happening to the entire planet during this time, which is kind of, I say, nudging, kind of pushing you to clear energies, wrap up karma, close out old energies, and to anchor these light codes into your everyday life and what you're experiencing and what you're creating, and to really up level. So during today's energies, you might be craving that next level of your life, but that's how you get there. Like whether you're just getting a vision of it, what you want, what you're trying to manifest, this is actually a powerful sign that your soul is going to take you to that next level next. And so we're kind of doing this, I want to say, a level by level as we're rising up out of it too. I was kind of thinking of the lotus rising up out of the muck, right? And letting go of dense energies and purging out lower frequencies and continuing to rise up or make that climb within our ascension. But we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine to see what is going on. Make sure you guys are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. I do a ton of I'm an energy healer. I do a ton of healings, clearings, and activations. I have so much stuff up there to help you with your spiritual awakening, your ascension journey, and of course, doing that twin flame work with you too to really help you. So I do twin flame and relationship work. I help you. I do tons of reading sessions on there. And then, of course, I do twin flame coaching to help you through the process. And I do try to help you through the process, because when I was going through my own, we'll call it a process, I paid attention as a healer and really, really dived into things I saw specifically coming up for myself and many others on the twin flame journey to help you to clear blocks and to, release patterns. That's a lot of the work I'm trying to help people with recently and lately to help you heal and let go of patterns, let go of karmic cycles in your life, whatever it is coming up specifically for you on your journey. So make sure you guys are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. I saw a post yesterday. I'm going to say something. And just a little reminder, all angels, archangels, and humans have a twin flame. Maybe everyone isn't having that experience, just like awakening, but at a certain level, you will come into this experience. So for those of you guys that are on the twin flame journey, it can be really, really hard when people are not having this experience, can dismiss it, gaslight it, and not understand it. But when you're going through a spiritual awakening or the twin flame journey, that you're going through quite an intense energetic process, and that this is part of your experience. And it's very intense because it brings a lot of healing to the surface very fast, but you also might be doing a lot of collective healing at the same time if you're like ahead of the game, because you might be ahead of the game if you're having a spiritual awakening or you're on the twin flame journey. And just focusing on your own healing is helping, obviously, with you, your entire family line, family of origin, but also the collective and collective fields. You're doing very deep work during this time. Not everyone maybe is meant to understand your journey, or they might not. That is okay, but there are people that can really support you in what you're going through, because I had someone say this to me yesterday, so that's why I'm putting these messages out there to hopefully help people, right? So get support if you're needing it. You may need support going through this part of your journey. We see a lot of energies coming to the surface very, very fast. I was seeing people like, I would say lose their mind, right? They were fine last week, lose their mind in these energies, jokes aside, right? So they're very intense energies, and they tend to even trigger a lot of unhealed aspects, deeper layers, old emotions, right? Energies to the surface on the energy level. And not everyone might understand what's happening, but a lot of energies might be coming up in these higher frequency energies. I always talk about them being the ultimate amplifier of energies too. Some of you guys might need to rest. Some of you guys might be moving and getting creative bursts. Really listen to your body during this time, because you're not just the physical body, you are that light body. And we're going through so many light body upgrades during this time as the frequencies are rising, and it's making the planet a little weird if you didn't notice. So just really paying attention to your body, more self-care, more rest will really help you. But this is going to help you on your twin flame journey too, because the gentle reminder, your twin flame is always a reflection of your own consciousness. And they might be reflecting amazing parts, we hope, right? But also they can bring up unhealed aspects and trigger deeper aspects within you on the energy level or through the experience or things you're being shown. So make sure you're taking care of your energy. It's all about inner alignment, and that is the journey at different times, okay? So it's always about inner alignment, but I mean with that outer alignment too, with your union. So these energies are all about the upgrades. Sorry, my kitty. And inner alignment. Okay, we're going to start with a reading for Divine Feminine, Collective, Divine Masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. I let my ego get in our way. I couldn't let go of my pride, but you saw through me. You know the truth about me. So they are going to, I say, reflect your issues and energy to the core. Now, the thing that makes twin flame a little bit different than some type of connections is, number one, this is a destined connection. I think they teach you about destiny. So if you have gone through separation, honestly, sorry, kitty, it's a stage of the journey oftentimes, and it helps you to purge out deep attachments, ego issues. You can go through ego death, dark night of the soul. Now, this is about how anchored and grounded you are into your own energy, right? Into your own energy. So that's like the basis of this, like root chakra work. I'm going to say a lot of the planets going to go through this, that we need to be anchored and grounded into the core of our being. Forget the material, energetically into the core of our being, who we are, and we need to be in alignment to be able to flow through some of these energy changes that are hitting the planet. The energies are very galactic right now. Things are about to get galactic on the planet too, right? Okay, the energies are very galactic right now, but they are helping to bring major upgrades. We want to be tapping into these light codes. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Some of you guys are navigating separation, but just to put this out there, so many twin flames are navigating beautiful unions. So if you're in separation, I was saying it might feel a little bit like you're a bird that broke its wing, okay? And I was like telling my flame this. It might feel a little bit like you're a bird that broke its wing and you're needing to mend it and heal, but you will. And union is like representation of that. So many of you have anchored into beautiful unions, and all of that healing that you have done is paid off. And you are in alignment with this person, you're understanding each other, and you're navigating a healthier, obviously 5D union in relationship. Now, the good thing is about when you heal a certain pattern, when you face a certain aspect, when you heal your inner child, when you heal your shadow aspects that come up through life, and you do this healing work, you rise into a higher frequency, greater alignment. And we've been talking about that, like healing fragmented aspects to become more whole and more of a balanced person, because this is what the true twin flame journey is here to teach you. I do see a lot of distortion across the planet in many of this stuff. Now, I feel that within the 5D, when we're having a 5D experience, we begin to choose our own beliefs. We begin to choose what's resonating with us, what's in alignment with us, and we begin to create in a more conscious way that's very aligned. And this makes it easier, okay? So we have billions of people on the planet, and everyone's having their own experience, and each person has their own universe that comes with them. And so we have a lot of different realities. It's all about the reality that you're attuning to, tuning into, and choosing to create out of this. Your twin flame may show you on the energy level ways you're out of alignment with yourself. Usually they tend to trigger a lot, and then it's about healing those aspects, shifting into a greater alignment with yourself and into balance within this union. I always feel it's very important that Divine Feminine heals whatever it is that might be being triggered in these energies. So a lot of you guys in separation might be dealing with abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, and not being chosen. When you go further back, you're going to notice these stem from childhood, and that they go much farther back, or previous breakups, or even past lifetimes, okay, as these things are rising up and coming to the surface. So a lot of times people end up in separation, you know, it's terrible, it's the twin flame's fault. When you sit with that, you may have memories come up, previous experiences, hurts you've been through, and kind of put the pieces together. Divine Feminine is healing a lot of ways that you might have felt even mistreated and didn't recognize signs back then because you were very adorable and naive, right? And now you notice, you see the red flags from some of your journey, but maybe off the bat you didn't, okay? And I mean in your previous experiences, you're healing many timelines during this time, even your past, from this place of awakening and ascension that you're at, and you're collapsing in old timelines and old realities and things like that. So you have a big focus on closing out lower timelines. Now, one of the best ways we can do that is to declutter our energy field when we're doing clearing work. I know I want to get people more into the healing, right? Clearing work, cutting cords, releasing karmic attachment, and releasing old situations, experiences, and even people that are no longer serving you. You begin to really, really elevate and do that frequency work that is required. So we see a lot of that coming up for the Divine Feminine. In Divine unions right now, we see a lot of people staying more balanced and in healthier connection, and, you know, better navigating. And this is something the last 2 years specifically have taught us when we were in last year's eclipse gateway, but now we're integrating these energies now that we're in Aries season. And this is what this Aries season is helping us to better balance ourselves and our own life and journeys and path that we have to walk in our relationships. Because it's like, even if you're deeply in love with a person, you have to understand they have their own lessons at times and their own path that they're going to have to navigate, right? And things like that. So we're learning to better navigate that. This galactic activation portal day today is also a space to integrate a lot of these intense upgrades we've been through recently. We've had a lot of powerful astrology. We have this Aries season kicking off a new beginning and new timelines. And of course, we're integrating all that eclipse energy, but we're also integrating into that higher timeline. Now, a lot of times I find when I jump timelines, which we're doing all of the time, some are more noticeable than others. This is a noticeable one. You might feel like you're not at the best place. You might feel exhausted and zapped for the previous few days. This could be coming up for you, it just depends, because you made a huge quantum leap, and your body knows it even if your mind is trying to figure it out. So you might feel at times zapped and, you know, just integrating, I say, or adjusting. So adjusting energetically. And then sometimes you might feel like you're not doing that great. It's like started at the bottom. You've left your timeline and jumped to a higher one, but I describe it as like feeling like you're starting at the bottom of that timeline and having to work again through that timeline. So you might be having some of these symptoms come up during this time. The thought of you with someone else drives me crazy. Okay, for some this might be rooted in reality, but for some this might be insecurity being projected. A lot of times your twin flame will trigger insecurities. It depends on what they are. Your own thoughts and beliefs in your head generally. I try to help you guys getting into that, right? Oh my God, the orbs. Okay, getting into that space. You are here to heal insecurities. A lot of times insecurities being projected into relationships can cause problems like control issues, imbalances, projection, shadow coming up, jealousy, whatever it is, right? And then it can lead to negative sabotaging behaviors and even creating experiences that we're not really great with and things like that. Okay, this person might be triggering some of these things to the surface, and maybe not even intentionally. I find twin flames are literally polar opposites in a lot of ways. I make jokes about it a lot of time with mine because there's very obvious, not everything, because we're very compatible. I'm not saying that, but we actually hold opposite polarities in a lot of senses for some things. Like literally, it'll be noticeable. And then when you're trying to bring that together, this is where the friction happens. But actually the greatest relationships, there's oftentimes polarity. And I'm seeing that on the planet during the time, because this is where growth comes in. And we don't like that word, soul growth, right? I'm like, me of all signs. And we want to stay still and stagnant, but that's not how Earth works, right? It's about soul growth, soul evolution, and your soul is going through a powerful evolutionary phase like never before. And so oftentimes this is where, you know, the coming together happens, and the greatest connections can teach you and be powerful. Your twin flame is here to help you work through whatever issues you have. So if you have some type of issue, they might be very strongly on the opposite of that, right? Or whatever it is. But you might have had some relationship insecurities coming up lately. Now, I feel that oftentimes if they're reoccurring thoughts and negative beliefs, being made aware of that, sometimes we're not always that aware of our patterns. That's why I do this deeper work with you guys, because when you guys talk to me and tell me what's going up, I can help you to pinpoint things you can work on and shift out of, like shifting out of things, right? So sometimes when we have reoccurring negative thoughts and beliefs, they're actually blocking us, whether from our manifesting potential or our healthy relationship. So we have to do the work to clear and shift out of old programming, old patterns, and things like that. Things might be being triggered to the surface, because especially if they're an issue, and this is how life works, because, you know, we have to let go of this stuff for the new earth energies and things like that too. So you might have some insecurity that you're working through, or things that are being triggered to the surface. Triggers come to the surface to show you unhealed aspects and things that you may need to heal too. Remember that if you're being triggered. The distance between us is killing me. I long to hear your beautiful voice again. Some of you guys are navigating distance, which I think is kind of symbolic sometimes of separation. Okay, we're not healing. People won't like this. 3D, we're not healing separation with our twin flame, although we will think we are. A lot of people get stuck in painful cycles, and they will go however your soul has designed them for you, I remind you guys. Now, we're not always healing separation with our twin flame. The separation, if it has happened with your twin flame, which can happen once, it could happen more than once, or whatever it is, okay? It depends. Sometimes people have to get it right. It depends. You might be separated across a million lifetimes, right, with this person infinitely in different lifetimes, because you're gonna reincarnate, come to another planet, get used to it, right? Find this person, you know, they could die. I'm just putting it out there, and okay, on and on. Okay, so we've actually had to deal with, just showing you the big picture of your soul, many times we've gone through these type of cycles. Now, your twin flame is not to cause separation cycles. They're here to shine a light so that you can heal any separation consciousness. Now, we've all experienced separation consciousness, most notably going through the 3D experience. We're actually here to heal that, to get in alignment and to reconnect with source, or to connect on a greater level of source. So the more that we actually are getting spiritual, connecting with source, getting our energy in alignment, we're actually connecting with our twin flame, who is an aspect of our soul in our very own consciousness. This is why the mirroring impact can be very notable. Now, I feel a lot of times what happens is twin flames meet, it's the love bubble, instant recognition, this is my person, it's going to be amazing. But oftentimes the frequencies can't sustain these high frequencies. It depends on how much inner work you've done, and density begins to rise, blocks, Kundalini activates, and everything comes up, right? And I mean all the negative energies. If you're holding on to karma, a lot of people, we have two separate people, might even have karmic cords or situations not conducive to union or more work to do. So this is where the work to union generally comes in, okay? Now, you're going to know anytime that you, and I could say it because we're in a digital world, unfortunately, but also face-to-face reunion, seeing this person indicates reunion points. There's going to be spaces where you might be coming into reunion. Reunion is always because the universe thinks you're ready for union, to see where you're at and trying to bring you together despite it. Some of you guys might be navigating actual distance when I see this. And I talk about that a lot, because you might live in a different city, you might live in a different state, you could even live in a different country and be separated by oceans. It just kind of depends, doesn't matter. You're going to find this person because the divine wants you to come together with this person and to find this person. Doesn't matter if you're living in opposite cities or whatever. When the time is right, the universe will bring you together. And I feel this is very much part of, I talk about your divine blueprint or your galactic blueprint. Some people don't tap into that. They choose to stay in the 3D experience. However, a lot of people do choose to have a spirit, or go through a spiritual awakening and do that self work, because this is where it comes in. and will choose to align with their twin flame calling them in on some level. Just kind of depends. So some of you guys might be navigating, if you're living apart from them, this is kind of representation of the separateness, right, that you're healing. This can represent it, right? It just kind of depends or of how this has manifest into your life, right, or into your soul's journey. But you're here to heal anything keeping you apart, and oftentimes it isn't external situations like we think. It's stuff on the energy level, blocks, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs. It's all of the inner work that comes up. Now, how would that work come up unless it was being triggered to the surface through your outer experience? So oftentimes the universe or your soul may use, your higher self, right, may use your external circumstances to trigger and show you negative energies that you're still holding on to, patterns, limiting beliefs, whatever it is. And sometimes we go into that state of separation consciousness or not having faith or trust in our situation or whatever it is, so that it can be triggered to the surface. It's all about, like, the entire planet right now clearing energies. I'm seeing it big time, like on the planet, right? So it's all about what you're healing, what you're working through, and then what energies might be surfacing for clearing during this time. This is why I always tell you guys that it is such a necessity for twin flames to be doing energy healing practices. Everyone should be anyways, but specifically, this is a twin flame video. I do other videos too, but specifically for twin flames, because you have so much surface so fast generally that might be triggered to the surface. Oftentimes it might even be in your twin flame's absence that you're dealing with the deepest work. So that work done, if apart, is crucial, so that when you come into union, you can't bring all those, well, you shouldn't bring all those energies into it, or it'll cause problems in the union, because the work continues from this space. So Divine Feminine is dealing with a lot of inner child stuff. This is stuff that it might even feel it is past life work at that point, right? But you're dealing with inner child blocks and things coming down the family line. This is deep karmic work, karmic pattern to release blocks, stuck energy. This is if you feel things are blocked. Some of you are navigating, not for everyone, but actual third-party situations, karmic silence, no communication, not a lot of communication, like barriers, you know, things like that. It's time to shift your focus to clear the energy and to do the work on your side. Your twin flame is only ever a mirror to show you where you're at or where you're not ready or what you have to work through. And thank God with awakening, we get a lot more awareness to tap in and tune in and to kind of see what's going on within ourselves or what we need to work through. And I'm going to put it out there because I'm trying to give little messages. But yesterday I had, I don't want to call it a glimpse, such an experience in my own journey. I try not to put a lot of that out there because I do these videos for you, but it was like Aries season, and me and my twin flame do a project together, and it's a very big project, and we were kind of, you know, we were helping new people to get them on board with helping with it and things like that. We do a really big Facebook group too together, and it's like, you know, it's very, very big. It's over 500,000 people, so it's a lot of work every day. And we do that behind the scenes. And I was telling myself, you know, that's the higher of twin flames coming together and doing some type of spiritual mission to help the planet. That's where it's at right there. That is what twin flames are here to do, and to step into, this is Aries season, the leadership roles. And that you might not want to, and that might make you uncomfortable, but that is what you're here for. And this is what Aries season seems to be activating, whether this is you needing to follow your own compass and your own path, or really stepping into how you can be of service and help the planet. And sometimes it's just the little things that you're doing that can really, really add up to big things, okay? Whatever that looks like. And so that's a lot of what twin flames are here to do, to work together. And I like to download on this stuff. And yes, you can do that in your everyday lives and building your life, but we came here to be of service to the planet and to activate our spiritual gifts and to be of service and to make big change. Twin flames are sitting on just powerful energies and light codes that you guys can use to heal the planet or whatever it is. And this is a big part of switching that on through going through your own spiritual awakening and soul journey, but also that, you know, spiritual work that we came here to do. Especially if you're a starseed, you came with a mission. You're a twin flame, you have a powerful shared mission that you'll do together, whatever it is. And so, tapping into that and using that and bringing that to the planet in whatever way, okay? But this is what twin flames, I always kind of bring that up because I always love that about that too. And so there's obviously, you have your own path, but how you will come together with this person, and it might be part of your soul blueprint that you might do. I see a lot of twin flames doing a lot of projects together, things together that could turn into big things and inspiring and things like that, whatever it is. And a lot of times we're first here to heal our own blueprint and our own relationship template by coming together with our twin flame. So anything negative has to go, the negative patterns, the programs, the karma, whatever it is that you have left to work through and resolve. Twin flames help each other with this work. And so if you're navigating a complex situation with a lot of negativity coming up, we can say blocks, third parties, I could go on and on, energy surfacing, it's exactly what you came here to heal. As a twin flame, any of the negativity, it's the ultimate purifying energy to purge out and to release old programs, negative energies, blocks, and whatever it is. And so you have your own journey we talked about, and so does your twin flame. And no matter if you're going through something and you're having a challenging time or they are, you're here to be motivation for each other and to do this together and to inspire each other on some type of level. So a lot of times twin flames, depends on what you are here to heal, but this is a big focus on healing during this time, and the twin flame journey really kicks up that healing a notch, you'll notice. Okay, some of you guys are still in this chaser energy. It depends, not everyone. And this is like, some of you guys have been dealing with healing rejection and needing to let this person go, and it depends on what's going on. You have to follow your specific guidance and what to do. That's why I work with you guys if you need help to tap in and tell what's coming up as you're navigating these many layers. But I deal with the chaser energy a lot, not with me, with other people. And I find it is very intense, not just directed towards the twin flame, but in general with yourself or other people. And so you're in a whole frenzy of energy. I could just describe it as an intense purge state. Chaser energy is a complete purge state, and it's like a whole thing. And until you get out of it, the person runs. They're not going to stop until you stop. And they're actually avoiding you. Not funny though at all, right? But to get out of that energy and shift out of that energy because it's not healthy. And so we're also learning a lot about healthy energy balance and connection and things like that for whatever reason. And I don't know why a lot of times those certain buttons get pushed and they keep going and things like that. If your twin flame has pulled back for whatever reason, it is so that you can work on yourself. And then I always say to pay attention to what's going on in your own life or your own path or your own journey, what might be coming up. Oftentimes I found from studying this stuff that a lot of times they pull back so that you can work through certain lessons, your own healing, things that might be coming up. It might be something in your actual life that you have to do or take care of for putting all your energy and focus on yourself and less of your energy and focus on this person, as it may be triggering to them in a certain way if you're not in your great alignment, right? And things like that. It depends on how that focus is and what kind of energy is coming up for it. So to honor any cycles of whether there's separation, reunion, or union, and where you're at in the journey as a necessary step towards union, but also a necessary step of either preparing for union or within your union, what is going on and what is coming up for you during this time. Okay, we have the generator. We're staying grounded. I love this because I was posting this morning about needing to, number one, connect with the earth, right? Connect with the earth, ground this energy. I said I saw a lot of people kind of ungrounded and things like that. Actually, it'll make you feel a lot better. Like that's what I did yesterday. I was like sitting outside. And then connecting with the sun, that will help you on the cellular level because we're going through a lot of DNA upgrade and transformation. So whether you're just sitting in the sun and soaking up those light codes, I don't think the sun's that great here today, but when it is, right? All right, we've gone into spring. Enjoy it while it lasts. Connecting with nature and connecting with the sun will help you as you're going through this transformation. Many of you guys are also having that same battle between your head and the heart. It's an internal energy, right? And things like that. Head, ego, the negative beliefs, the negative thoughts that are coming up, and your heart knows. And I was thinking about that too, because I too spend a lot of time trying to talk about things and write about things, and for whatever reason I didn't know where things were going, but I decided to write about some of this stuff. And I have another book I'll be adding to it so you can see more of the layers of it. So I started to write about this, and I remember because I was telling myself that when I was going through my own, we'll call them separation stages, I knew that, you know, I wanted to be with this person and I didn't move on, and it was just what it was. And I thought a lot of people kind of thought I was crazy around me. Like I was like, they're coming back. And I don't think, like, I remember this person didn't really believe me. I said, well, when they come back, and they did, of course. But you'll know it in your heart is what I'm getting at. You're gonna know it in your heart and your soul about either what comes next for you, what part of the process you're on, what to be working through, what to be healing, or whatever it is. And so I found in my own journey that when a karmic contract ran out, that was it. You had no desire to reconnect. You knew it was over. It was just where it was. But with Twin Flame, this is a different type of experience, and I do feel it's part of the process too, to keep you on track. So also I tell people and I advise people to follow your heart when it comes to matters of love, because your friends and people can give you advice and things like that, but you know what's on your heart and your soul, especially if it's another person or this connection. Although our ego loves to not understand things, it could be impatient, right? Sometimes I see a lot of people go through a lot of layers of letting go of ego attachment when things not going the way you wanted or expected, trusting that there's a greater blueprint or plan for your life playing out, especially when it comes to Twin Flame. So definitely healing is a big part of the process, and what you may be working on cleansing from your mind, heart, body, and soul. Okay, creative expression. Many of you guys are starting to find your voice, which is very, very powerful too. And I mean with your person. So this could be communication opening up, or better communicating, or telling them your feelings or what's going on with you. So more communication, more understanding, less communication, lots of misunderstanding, not seeing eye to eye, right? And so that can be part of this too. I feel that this is going to be communication opening up from the Divine Feminine side too. Okay, so we have the Death in reverse. So this is when I talk about the cycles, and I love it because I'm not doing that, but next weekend Easter, but it's the coming back to life for the spring symbolism already. Okay, so that's where we're at. We've been through the death, which is the fall and the winter, and everything literally dies, but also it's a big releasing of energies. So this is where we kind of come back to life. We're in blossom and bloom season, which I can get on board with. So this is also what you need to continue to release and let go of in your life to aid you on your spiritual journey and your ascension journey. So we go through a lot of letting go of energies so that we can let the right energies into our life. I always say to kind of let go and see what stays, right? Some of you guys have fear of moving on. So I found another place, I found the places we can get stuck on the Twin Flame journey, is oftentimes your Twin Flame will come in and the karmic energies come up, whether patterns clashing or actual karmic. This is like symbolism of like some people that are dealing with third-party situations, outer interference, family problems involved in it. This is all karmic energies, and we have to do a karmic release. And so oftentimes your Twin Flame will come in, and I feel they may play out a karmic timeline, or even a couple maybe. They'll play out any karmic timeline that you have. This could be from past lives to resolve things, but usually I found it's from this lifetime. And if you have imprints in your field, they come in and they play those out to help you to clear and release and purge karma out. So generally this can lead to separation. It doesn't have to. But when it does, you have to let go of what happened, forgiveness, karmic work, letting go of things, to be able to start over on a higher timeline without those karmic energies. And even in separation, that's what's happening. You've each been pulled back to navigate this space to literally clear out karmic energies and come together on a higher timeline. And so that's what happens. So the more we tend to carry or continue to go into old stuff that happened and bring it up into the now, we go back into these timelines. They need to be collapsed out like any other lower timelines in our life, so we can kind of start over. Some of you guys might be at this space of starting over in your union or coming into union and needing to start over. And if we can't, and we have stuck karmic energy that keeps coming up, old hurts, upsetting us, it comes into the now, messing things up again. So we have to be able to close out old timelines. That's what this card is helping you with. This is like needing to move on, but some of you guys are, and so I had someone I was trying to help with this experience. I said, you need to let go. And they're like, because you're afraid you'll lose this person if you don't stop chasing or don't stop reaching out or whatever it is. And I try to kind of show you guys sometimes the big picture of your individual experiences, but this is like needing to be able to close out whatever that is and start over on these higher timelines. And trust me, your twin flame will meet you there through your ascension timeline. So this is also negative patterns and karmic patterns that you need to work on. Some of you guys, Divine Feminine, are healing major dependent patterns and codependent patterns and things like that. So you're learning that in these spaces of separation, they're actually, and I mean that in union too, because they're preparing you for this union and healthier connection. You're actually learning how to work on yourself, your own energy, and your own life. And this is so valuable to help you to release these old, templates of love that are very unhealthy and things like that. So you're being asked to let go of any negative energies, blocks, or karmic energies around this connection from your side, through releasing negative patterns and things like that too. So we could hold a pattern, like I'm always thinking something very negative and my twin flame's doing that on their side, or these are just examples with the mirroring, or I'm doing something kind of toxic, a pattern, and they're doing it back. I go ahead and I heal that limiting belief and get it out of my head, or this toxic pattern, they'll stop, it'll heal their side too, because you actually have a shared energy field, right? So oftentimes we tend to not understand the reflective nature of this connection. It's to help us purify and refine ourselves and whatever it is. And if you're holding a lot of negativity, whether in the mind or energy, your twin flame comes near you, it'll really, make it obvious and things like that. So they're here to help shine a light through this shared energy dynamic also of ways that you may need to heal limiting. This is patterns, but we have a big focus on closing out old timelines from this space. And I mean within your connection, or, from the past. Okay, the moon, and I love this because this is literally shining a light on the shadow or repressed aspects or things like that. So this is also, tapping into, as you're doing this clearing work and this healing work, you're uncovering your gifts. You might be clearing layers of fear and anxiety. Like I put a CME post about it. People are like, should we be afraid? You do not want to be in fear right now, because it is manifesting and that sucks, right? Okay, yeah. See this as a time to get inspired and excited and watch everything shift when we shift our energy and shift out of that state. So we want to choose to be in a state of love. Doesn't surprise me. A lot of people don't like this topic, right? And that's okay, because I know better than anyone after hearing thousands of horrible stories about love. Right? I'm taking that in, and it can make you jaded. I'm going to say it in a fun way, but that's true. And that's what happens to people after going through many cycles of things. Now, it is up to you what you're going to make of your human experience and journey. Choose love. That is going to require purging out all of the negative beliefs, blocks, things keeping you from love, walls, ego programs, shadow, right? Whatever it is that comes up in these connections, because relationships, you're getting close with a person. You know why a lot of people don't like love? Because they have to actually get vulnerable and deep in a relationship, and they love that 3D surface level stuff, which is very superficial. And so this love requires us to get deep and to get uncomfortable with the inner work we still have to do, which we're all working through things, right? So it doesn't surprise me. A lot of people are like, love, but the opposite of that, it's nothing I want in my reality. So when you do this work of healing, we're doing it anyway with Ascension, regardless if you're in love or not. Okay, love can just help us to get in that state where we need to be. As we're uncovering layers of trauma and wounds and negativity and, negative ego chitter chatter, amazing things start to happen. You uncover your gifts. You get spiritually clear. You're actually opening up your psychic and spiritual connection. You're going to get very clear in these galactic activation portal days of your next steps, what to be doing, connecting with your spirit guides, what to be working through, because you're going to find all those negative energies have been holding down your frequency. And as you begin to rise up your frequency, this is helping your ascension. And it doesn't always feel like it, because people can get stuck in the purge cycles. And that's why if you are, I say I have a million healings, get at me. Or if you're needing one-on-one support. So this is about uncovering a lot of the things. So pay attention right now to your intuition. subtle feelings you're getting, your dreams. And this is something that you and your twin flame are also communicating on many levels. This is a card that indicates the subconscious level and patterns and things, because a lot of our programming we're not consciously aware of. We just kind of go through the motions and patterns. So these energies are helping us to become more aware of that. This is also a connection that is very powerful on many other energy levels. And so this is a card about dreams, and even on this telepathic level and things like that too. Whatever you're thinking about all your day long, your twin flame, if it's negative about your twin flame, they're thinking that same negative thought about you on the other side. So when we purge out and heal a negative thought pattern or negative thoughts, they do too. And then sometimes it's not nice when we get it mirrored back when we're, thinking a certain way. Like I had someone show me how they had been thinking for a long time a certain pattern, and when their twin flame said it back, they didn't like it. I'm like, okay, you see, it flips. So it's a weird mirror, but it's literally the opposite. So if you're thinking, this person is whatever, they are about you too. So it helps us to refine ourselves and to uncover and to become more aware of buried aspects of ourselves, repressed aspects of ourselves, things we need to change or even transform. Going through this transformation, it will change your energy very, very fast if you stay the course and stick the journey. A lot of people run away because it's very intense, and there's going to be trauma, there's going to be hurt areas and sore spots, and these are areas that really need your attention. But when you stay the course and you move through it, yeah, it's worth it. So we have a lot of uncovering of, this could be healing. I say shadow aspects. It could just be painful areas in your energy or blocks, all of that coming up for the divine feminine side. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. Now when I have this card, it's like, you might feel like nothing is moving. And then this can also indicate going from one bad situation to another, so some type of karmic cycle or avoiding reality. This could be also suppressing and ignoring your feelings. So when we are taught that at a young age, they tend to come up and we have to deal with it. When we do ascension and the twin flame journey, we're actually dealing with a lot of repressed energies. Remember that emotions are actually energy. And when we can understand that, we can begin to better shift energy and shift out of negative energy if we're feeling it. And so it is normal to feel a huge purges of emotions at times going through your awakening. So when we can learn that, when we're dealing with a lot of negative emotions and energy, or we're having them come up a lot, or we're feeling kind of negative or stagnant or stuck, energy heal and energy clearing to get rid of some of that stuff. And then once again, this is negative patterns too. And so, this is like, maybe there's been some type of karmic cycle that's already happened that you're having a hard time getting out of, or patterns coming up, and this can be any type of ways, but connected with the emotions and the feelings doesn't surprise me. We have that moon energy, and we're seeing a lot of the moon effect lately, right? And things like that. But this is also, once again, the subconscious. So maybe a lot of emotions are coming up on a deeper level and you might not know where they're coming from and where they're surfacing from. Your twin flame can trigger extreme emotions, okay? And it just kind of depends if those are positive or good, but we're probably dealing with some negative emotions that might be coming up, or negative feelings. We have to learn how to better process and deal with emotions. We tend to want to stuff them all inside, and then we're actually full of a lot of dense energies, and that's exactly why they're surfacing during this time for us to do that clearing work too. So you might be in your feelings a lot, or dealing with heavy emotions. It just kind of depends in what way. Now we're going to do a reading for the divine masculine side of things. This will probably be a little bit of a longer video, not trying to, but I like to do these just to help you. Remember, only take what resonates for your specific situation. I do those one-on-one phone calls, just reading option. I just make it easy, but I go into everything as tell them my own flame may help you with all areas of your life. Like everything. Doesn't matter what it is. This work translates over to every area. So your twin flame may highlight blocks. Remember, as you clear all of these things, you become really powerful and you're manifesting in other areas of your life, as those are your blocks, the same ones that come up on twin flame. So you might be working through some deep-rooted blocks. Be gentle with yourself. This reading's indicating inner child work coming up too, okay? We're going to do reading for divine masculine side of things, divine masculine, divine feminine. If you're watching, direct messages from your masculine. time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. And so this could be, and like I said, you guys go through a world of hurt. Most of the stuff being triggered, you'll blame your twin flame at first, but you realize that these are just blocks, programs, and everything that already existed long before this person in your makeup that come to the surface. And so this is also like processing things and stuff like that. Divine masculine goes through some intense purging too. When they tend to pull back, because they do, it's usually so they can get balance themselves, stay aligned, or sort through their own emotions and feelings, or figure it out, right? It's all about inner balance and inner harmony and alignment, and they're usually following their guidance on what to be doing. So, you know, this person has had to wait or move through a lot of intense emotions for their divine feminine. This could be stuff being triggered from the past, or past life stuff involving their divine feminine too. I want to contact our mutual friends about you. Not for everyone, but you guys might have a lot of people in common. I was saying that, I make jokes about it. We're all closer than we think in these realities. Okay, so this could be, and I see this a lot, like you guys have mutual friends that tend to pop out of the woodwork at crucial times. Okay, like they might check in on you. I see, you know, or talk to you about your flame or whatever it is, or ask how you are, whatever it is. You're gonna notice, just as the universe strategizes to orchestrate separations generally, or you guys do it on your own, not trying to, right? Okay, with the energies out of balance, it also can orchestrate these reunion and union points and things like that, okay? So you guys have a lot in common when it comes to twin flame, even more than you think. You might even have mutual friends or followers on socials, just kind of depends. You brought out the best in me. I came alive in your presence. Twin flame will bring out your best and worst, right? Usually best first, love bubble, right? But they also trigger. But the thing is, most twin flames, they don't talk about this. They go, you know, they go deal with their stuff, but maybe some do, but I'm just putting it out there just in case, right? They trigger a lot. They're going to show you in how you feel about yourself, aside from the connection, areas you might want to work, transform, or work through. So simply being in your divine feminine's presence makes you want to be a better man. It might be how you're showing up for her. Now, I saw something yesterday, and I love this, that divine masculine wants peace, awakening, and enlightenment. And so they're wanting a certain type of woman. It has nothing to do with looks and everything to have to do with feels and alignment, right? And then someone doing the work. And if your partner isn't doing the work, they might be holding you back. I hate to say that. But most of the people are doing the work, whether they realize it or not, through their life journey or what's coming up for them. But the awakened masculine, right? They're wanting their awakened feminine to be doing the work. They don't want some messy, chaser, desperate version. They want the awakened woman who is living the potential, and not just any. They want their divine feminine, okay? Like, despite what you guys might think, right? They know, they have a knowing about this. And it depends. They also get good guidance about what to be doing when it comes to the connection and things like that too. In any pullbacks that can happen, it is to give the divine feminine space to work on their own energy issues and their own awakening on whatever level. It depends on how your soul's journey is played out too. I feel that we play out a soul blueprint, and your soul blueprint is like a map to your life. I know, and it depends on you and the work you're doing. You know, you could have had this map. It's like climbing the mountain, and you just sit there and you don't do anything, stagnant energy, and you're not doing the work. You just literally, you get the map to a tour guide to climbing some mountain, and you just sit there and don't go anywhere. You're not going anywhere. It also is up to you while you're on the earth journey. Your spirit guides have mapped it all out and your course, but it's up to you to take necessary steps, make things happen, and to do that soul work. Too, union is to motivate you too. And so things like that, you can move through any energies that you need to fairly quickly, doing the work on yourself. And it's always going to be self-work too. So this divine masculine watching this is awakened, and they want their feminine too. Goes both ways though too, about both of you having to work on certain things, certain patterns to play out your soul blueprint. So there are some things that are predetermined before incarnation, like meeting your twin flame, like literally, right? Literally a soul contract with your twin flame to ensure that you would meet them. There's also a soul contract for union, And no matter where you're at in that journey, the universe wants you to, work your way into these unions or certain things that will play out within the union. So we have Sacral card coming up. Pay attention to new ideas, manifesting and planting your seeds. And I love that because I see so many of the divine masculines that when you guys hang out with your divine feminine, you get good ideas and you're like, let's do this together. Let's make some plans. We're going to do this. You're creating entire timelines for you and your divine feminine, okay? You are powerful in what you're putting out there and then bringing these things to life. So you get the idea and like, we should do this or go there or whatever it is, making these things happen and like weaving a whole timeline. I use the word weave. Weaving a whole timeline in these energies where it opens up so much being in your divine feminine's energy and presence, especially when your divine feminine is in alignment. Okay, you might feel like there's some type of pause card. So this is like taking a step back and waiting for the signs. Some of you guys have taken a step back and you're maybe getting guidance on how to move forward. It just kind of depends. Pay attention to the signs you're getting. You could see angel feathers, numbers, glimpses of things. You could just be thinking about your divine feminine and getting a telepathic message or a psychic download. You might be dreaming about them. I had my twin flame tell me a dream that they had with me in it the other day that might have pertained to my life or whatever it is that you're connecting. And then sometimes you're getting that guidance and it could be in many different ways. It could be getting a video like this and getting a message that resonates or someone saying something to you, whatever it is. Pay attention to the signs, they are there. Okay, time to observe. You might be watching your twin flames, divine feminine social media from a distance. You can kind of tell what they're going through by how they're posting, right? Where their energy's at and stuff like that. Okay, so this is connecting with your divine feminine energy. And we talked about that this is what you crave, this is what you desire. However, you might have divine masculine ego programs, fears and blocks and insecurities that are coming up, or old relationship patterns, inner child wounds that might be surfacing from this connection. Just kind of depends on what is coming up. Once again, get help, get support. This is going to help you through the journey so much in the healing too, and stuff like that. There are actually people that will help you right here, help you to heal. It's why you guys notice I put so many healings on my website to help you to navigate these energies, your own experience. I do that twin flame coaching, which is so easy. It's 6 calls, but I have pinpointed it to regress you and go into certain areas that will change your life, literally, and what's happening within your connection. It's great. All of the stuff on my site for the twin flame category is great for people if they're in separation, union, doesn't matter. I work with people at all different levels, just like I work with people at all different levels of the awakening too, and help you to navigate your awakening experience. So get support, get help. You're probably needing it to sort through some of this stuff because we kind of get in our own lens perspective, and it will help you. I help you do, someone was asking what I do. I help you to clear blocks, shift your energy, and to, help you with up-leveling your energy on every level. That could be different. So I help you to sort through whatever is going on in your life and to help you on the energy level, which is powerful too, because a lot of times we might feel blocked or stuck and it's something going on in the energy level. I help you to release karmic baggage. I help you to heal old wounds, whatever it is. So get help on your ascension journey. I have so many healings that are amazing on my website, whatever it is that you're needing, especially if you're feeling stuck. So once again, fast track to ascension. You might feel like things are moving fast. They are in the energies. And this is where someone was asking, you should be healing and sorting through the karmic baggage in your life, whatever that looks like for you. And that is the work to get into union, but also in union. These are the same energies, if they are not released, that will trigger things in your union. So we need to clear the triggers and heal certain things. So it's like that. Some of you guys are dealing with your twin flame being pushy, and I called it aggressive, being either kind of manipulative to get their needs met or their way. And some of you guys are dealing with unhealed divine feminine, okay? And whatever that looks like for you. And I always remind that's why it's amazing when I work with you to help you. That pushing is not going to help. It's a little bit like the caterpillar in the cocoon, and you go rip a hole in the cocoon and probably it dies, like, right? And you can't force. So this is energy of force. Maybe your divine feminine is trying to control things or be a little forceful with the process, and you might be kind of going through a process, a healing process, or be in the cocoon or not be fully ready. I remind the divine feminine, some of you guys think you're ready and you're not, and that's the work coming up. But this is a message for the divine masculine of maybe needing to work through something in your life. Maybe you still have some blocks or obstacles and you know it. You might have things you're just working through to feel better on the energy level or to recalibrate, or you might have situations in your life that you're still trying to, process or work through. It just kind of depends on what. It's okay to take your time. That's giving your divine feminine space to heal, whether apart or even in union. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you guys are, like I said, taking your time and maybe not wanting to rush things, and just kind of, this is my card of like when we deal with the Knight of Pentacles, he is watching their divine feminine from afar. They know what they want and they know that hard work is going to get them these results through perseverance, right? And so it's someone who isn't quitting on their divine feminine, but they might be taking their time and kind of, this is my energy of reflecting and thinking and spiritual awakening and kind of figuring out things, okay? This is my Four of Cups. Some of you guys are letting go of a lot of negativity, needing to let go of the past and to focus on the positive. I was reminding someone of this. Stay happy and excited about the little wins on the daily. Take it a day at a time and stay focused on the things that are going good and positive in your life, because we're going to raise up our positive energy, okay? Raise up our spiritual energy. This is like if you felt stagnant or stuck or things weren't moving when we deal with stagnant energy, it's really on the energy level. So this is clearing some type of stuck energy and to focus on not the process, but where you are currently. You might still be clearing some blocks like we talked about, and clearing energy blocks or stuck energy or negative energy too. Like I said, energy clearing work for that if you need it. Just kind of depends. So this is things getting moving again. We're ready to do that. I'm excited about the next couple of months. They're going to bring very high frequencies. Today is just a foreshadowing of that, right? So you're dealing with a lot of high frequency energy. This can help you to get things moving. If you feel like, things need to move on your divine feminine side, they're stuck, you haven't seen results, whatever it is, okay? Or you're in your union and feel things can get stagnant too in relationships. You're needing to get that spark back, right? Just bring some good energy into it. We're there. So it just kind of depends. It's like getting things moving again or flowing again or feeling good. And I think we're seeing that across all areas of our life right now, whether financially or our love life, as Venus has shifted direct, but we're still in that couple of week after shadow, right? So we're trying to get things moving and they're starting to flow. We've done major, for the past couple of months, clearing of relationship and financial blocks, another topic. And things are going to start moving in a nice direction come May, like now, like don't put time frames on it, but they're going to start really moving, especially as we're going into May. We're going to see some beautiful energies as next month brings our like Pleiadian alignment and Beltane or whatever it is, okay? So we're kind of moving through the rest of April. It's bringing a very galactic frequency today. You can be really tapping into it and use it. I have a ton of, well, not too many, but I have a ton of galactic healings on my site for today. Okay, I've left up a lot of stuff in my shop. If it's in my shop, you can still do it and take advantage of it, because I'm going to start tearing stuff down again, okay? And I always feel kind of bad wasting all that stuff. I have a lot of great stuff in my shop. Maybe flip through, check it out. Great time to do a healing. Lots of galactic ones up for today. Great time to be tapping into your starseed origins and, bringing that galactic blueprint down to earth, or, really upgrading your energy. Have a beautiful day. If you do need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelightshealing.com. If you don't know where to start, you could always flip through, pick a healing. I do twin flame readings, twin flame coaching, and you can do that anytime you want. Have a beautiful day.